Hello, folks. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
And I'm James.
As we go a little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
How are you doing, good sir?
Oh, it's a lazy Sunday afternoon. The
That's
weather's
right.
starting to get cold.
It is.
Stoops is here, and we're sipping on coffee together.
That's right. You guys are adorable. Both drinking separate cups of coffee. I wish you guys were drinking the same cup of coffee. Aww.
With two straws.
This is turning into an NPR interview real quick. Stoops, we have our lovely guest, one of our personal favorites, and obviously a good friend of ours. p.stoops is in the building. How are you doing, good sir?
Hey, pretty good.
You're good.
Three-peat.
Three-peat, yeah, that's right. You're going
Four
in for
if
the
you
kill.
count the...
Oh,
Well, okay, 4 if you count the one where Kyle fucked up. We're starting this again so early. Gotcha. This is lovely. I love being attacked in my on a podcast. This is one of my
And we're
favorite
in
things.
your house.
And in my house where I set up all the equipment. I try really hard. What kind of Dunkin' Donuts coffee did you bring today?
it's just the regular.
It looks like literally everything is checked. There is...
It's
Yeah.
wow, they really scribbled all over it. It's supposed to be 3 cream, 3 sugar,
Okay.
but they wrote the 3 over all of them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That works.
Is
that
Dunkin'
works.
Donuts a sponsor?
No,
Or-
God, I wish they were.
Oh, that'd be amazing, right?
That'd be amazing.
Get that Dunkin' money.
I don't want. I don't need a lot of sponsors in my life, but I've always wanted to have a drink sponsor. I think that'd be really fun. What kind of coffee are you drinking then?
I got
Looking
one...
for more sponsors.
Yeah, off of Amazon called Pete's Coffee.
Okay.
I'm not in
Oh,
love with it, but...
That's owned by Starbucks.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think.
I've been trying different ones, and
fine.
I just like on Amazon. So far, my favorite is one by Coffee Cult, spelled with K's. Is that owned by Starbucks? I don't know.
I don't know.
Cult
Yeah.
with K's.
With
Coffee
K's.
cold. Okay.
Cool.
Right.
I'm a little worried on that one already.
Yeah, I'm probably like funding terrorism or white
You know what?
supremacy,
It's
but
It
okay.
it's just
sounds like white supremacy.
but they make good coffee.
I can't complain. I must admit, when I buy my Keurig cups, I usually go to Ollie's. Do you guys know what Ollie's is?
Yeah, I know Alice.
Yeah, it's like
a shit shop.
Mark's. Yeah, it's like Mark's like shitty brother. Like, I love it, but they have cheap coffee, and I just down it, so I don't really care for the taste.
I go there every Christmas because you can buy like
You buy
a
insane
square mile of wrapping paper for like
Yeah.
$1.
Yeah, but they also have the same like it's all warehousey.
Fuck
and
it,
it's
let's just
dark.
cover the road. Go.
It's so dark and warehousey there, and they still have like. They do the Marx thing where they have all like the weird paintings or whatever, but none of them make sense. I think they all try to rhyme. It's real weird. It's a weird place. I
Oh
recommend
yeah, or
going.
like the thing that like Trader Joe's does or whatever, where they
Yeah.
have the dumb little cartoons like you'll go
Exactly.
bananas for over our fruit
for
prices.
bananas. Stu,
Let us show you our produce.
oh, Jesus, Stu, what's been new with you? We haven't had you on in a long time. So what's changed? What's new?
All right. So since the last time I've been on here, I think I did. Have I not been on since I released the album? Or
It might be. I think the last time you came back, you were on 2 hours of sleep, and you just got loopy the whole episode.
But I do
And
believe
that
the
was-
album had just came out. 'cause we
yeah,
put-
because that's when I
dropped
played
a track
Detroit
from
for
it.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the album got officially released on the label.
Yes.
So that was back in May.
What is the label?
Teenage Riot Records,
Okay.
which is owned by Jesse Keeler, who's part of like Mastercraft and Death from Above 1979.
Okay.
And Bird Peterson,
Okay.
who's the guy who found me and signed me.
But
He's
you,
like an
you don't
awesome
age
DJ.
out.
What's up?
You don't age out.
Yeah, seems like, is anyone actually a teenager on this record label?
Yeah, all of them are. I'm a teenager. What's up?
I never knew.
What's up,
you
fellow
grew
kids?
such a great, such a great beard at such a young age.
Oh, I had a goatee as a teenager. I mean, I'm
Oh,
a teenager
did
now
you?
too. But
I kind of
Your story's falling apart. At the
I know
seams.
your lies are not working out for
so it
anyone
was like
here.
99, 2000, and yeah,
Oh,
I
boy.
had a goatee.
Oh,
'cause,
boy.
you know,
You just wanted to look like a bad magician, right?
I wanted to, I think, look like what's the guy from Bare Naked Ladies?
It's
Guy
been
Fieri?
1 week.
Yeah.
yeah, that guy.
Ed,
Well, that's
maybe
a
is
smash
his
up
name.
And maybe
Ed.
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 Oh, Ed
Roberts?
Sullivan?
Robertson?
No, that's Sullivan's show.
I don't know.
We're not good at this.
Anyhow, it was the late 90s, the early 2000s. That
Yeah.
was
You're
acceptable.
in that alt rock.
It was acceptable at that.
It was.
At
It really
time.
was.
I have not had a goatee since I graduated high school, so
Do you have any pictures of this?
probably none
Can
that
I
you're gonna see.
please see them sometime?
You've heard all of my like embarrassing music from high school. I don't know how
I
much
like
deeper down.
some of your music from high school.
Some of it was acceptable, but some of it, ooh. I played for you the first DJ mix I ever did.
What was
which
the
was
DJ
like,
mix called again? I forget.
I don't know that I had a name.
I think you gave it a name.
I think it was just like first DJ mix circa 1999 or something like that. Like
Got really specific.
Because I named it at like I went through all my tapes a couple years ago and actually like while I still had the memory, actually put like specific labels on everything.
Gotcha.
Most important thing that's happened to me. So
Good. Oh, that's adorable. And you did it in
Nashville.
Yeah, that's right.
During the great sun eating or
Oh
whatever.
no, we were in Nashville before it was cool. It was we went to Nashville, Memphis, and New Orleans on a big vacation, and so I was gonna actually propose to her at the Ryman Auditorium, which was the original home of the Grand Ole Opry. It started off as like a church in like the 19th century.
Okay.
So the place is really beautiful, and I was gonna do it there. But before we were there, we were actually at the real Grand Ole Opry, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta do it here. Like this is, I mean, it was too perfect." But so we're on this tour, and of the Grand Ole Opry, and at one point they take you onto the actual stage, which is like amazing, and like even if you don't like country music, you can still probably respect that. Like this is where like Johnny Cash and Loretta Lynn and like all of these great musicians have stood, and so you can get your picture taken there. So we're in line to, be in front of like the microphone on this like little wood circle thing where all the greats have stood, and the tour guide says, so here you can, like get your picture taken if you want to do it with your group or by yourself, and boyfriends, if you want to propose to your girlfriends, I'm not pressuring anyone, but this has happened before on one of my tour groups before. And I was just like, I got so in my head about that because I was like, no. Like now it's a thing, and I can't.
Like fuck.
Man, you should have just owned it and played it like it was an impulse decision. You're just like, okay.
Yeah. I just happen to have this ring right here.
And we were like in the middle of the group too, so like there would have been
like
some
real
people
awkward.
waiting and some people like, and so I ended up actually doing it like right outside the front doors.
That's good. Was the tour guide still there?
No,
It's like
no.
also we have people.
No,
I can
and
see
then-
the tour guide following you all day. Also, we have people in front to try to ask for marriage and whatnot.
So I proposed, and then like some people from afar were just kind of like. Like they're like, I think I just witnessed a proposal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like we kind of, and we were like waved to them, and it was but it was.
Oh my god.
And they never tell you about engagements. Like you got to prepare the 5 minutes directly after you propose. You have to have an activity planned. No one ever tells you to do that though, because because after we did that, we were just like, okay, so. Like there was no one else around.
Yeah.
So we had to ask a stranger to take our picture.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, okay. And then we had a 15-minute walk back to the car because Opryland,
Just
where
in
the Grand Ole Opry
silence.
is like, it's huge. And it was like super hot July Nashville day. And just like, but I mean, it was like a 15-minute walk back. And we're just kind of like, what do we do now? Because nothing really like they expect you to like feel so differently, and then there's like a beam of light shines down on you and your whole life is elevated.
No,
and
there's
stuff
a
like
lot
that.
of silence.
It's so plan something fun to do. Like that's my advice, is because it was weird. I mean, like it was fine.
Yeah.
It's with my fiance.
It
wasn't
was
like
fine.
it wasn't like I was like with a stranger.
That's a weird word to say. It was fine.
It was
We
a 15-minute walk back to the car.
That's not.
I mean,
bad
I was
at all.
happy, but it was like kind of just
like what happens now. Like
Yeah,
you peaked. You peaked
So
in
like
that
a good
day.
place to do that is like right as the bar's locked down when you're getting on a roller coaster and be like, oh yeah, and then you have something to do for the next 2 minutes.
That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
Bam.
Speaking of engagements, my sister got engaged last week.
Yes.
And
Congrats to her.
Thank you. But I bring it up, one, because it's my sister, but two, Andy had proposed to her. That's her boyfriend. And while he was doing it, my sister just started crying, obviously, because has emotions, I guess. And this person walked by who was a pimp, as later we found, took Andy's phone and was just taking photos for her. Didn't like kind of really ask or anything. Was just taking photos. And then he started like designing the shoot. And he kept telling his sister, like, keep crying, girl, keep crying. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. And just kept taking these photos. Turns out, pretty good photographer. Pretty wonderful, actually. I liked the shots that I saw.
You know, you're limiting him by just being a pimp. He can also be a photographer.
He can also be a photographer. Like, he got the lights right. He got the angles. He nailed, like, the thirds. Like, I'm like,
he's
holy
just
shit.
pimping to support his, like, photography career.
Exactly.
Like, I really want to be a photographer.
Yeah, I really just want to shoot school portraits. But, like, that's my real passion. But, like, to make money, I'm a pimp. So, that was, like, I love that story. It makes me happy.
How did they find out he was a pimp?
I think they talked to him afterwards or whatever.
Oh, and he was like, "Do you want a third party to
Yeah,
this engagement?
do you want a little celebratory woman? I think I got that for you. Here's a card." Yeah, Detroit's weird.
Hey, I heard you're getting married recently. Do you want one last go?
Do you
before
want one last hoorah? I gotcha. I'm pretty sure that was him trying to talk to Andy about it. But so all that marriage stuff, and then you and I played a show this past Wednesday.
Yes, we did.
We opened for Froggy Fresh, the internet guy. Used to be Krispy Kreme, and then Krispy Kreme called his house and told him he could no longer be Krispy Kreme. So he let his fans decide what his next name would be, which is always a good idea. And they went with Froggy Fresh.
I'm surprised he wasn't like Rapper McRapface.
I was actually
well. I mean, I know a guy, and his name is Rappy McRapperson. So it's that's already been done. How did you like the show?
It was a show.
It was a show.
The DJ that went on right after us, I heard like that was his second show ever or whatever. And I think as I told you, I'm not going to make any like strong judgments on like, I mean, he was fine. Like, second set, and he's like just getting started and stuff. So that's
apparently he's in a band as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
apparently like a touring band, and apparently they know him very well at Beachland.
Yeah, they were like friends with some.
Yeah.
He was friends with some of the people that worked there.
So
yeah. He was fine.
He played Terry Folds from the newest Rick and Morty episode, which was wonderful. I didn't think that was a possibility, but he played Terry Folds. But yes.
Yeah, and then admittedly, I wasn't particularly interested in seeing Froggy Fresh's thing,
fine.
so because it just, I don't know, there, sometimes when you can like just kind of read the crowd and kind of see what the thing's going to be like, and there was a lot of kids.
Yeah, that was something I wasn't prepared
for.
for.
I mean, it's not to say that like having kids in your crowd immediately makes it a bad show or whatever. Kid Koala has like kid parties and stuff like that all the time, but like I don't know, just the whole YouTube thing and stuff. It's a lot of like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like, the only stuff I watch on YouTube is just like John Oliver and you, of course.
Yeah, the good save. All the John Oliver stuff is amazing, though.
Right. And
I found a channel I really like who does deep dives in a lot of social issues, but also like video games, called H Bomber Guy.
Okay.
Just recommend that.
Wait, when you say deep dives into topics and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like underwater exploration for a second. I was
Which
like,
would
this
also
is
be
awesome.
cool. I'm like, I want to see his footage.
I want to see James Cameron's YouTube channel.
Yeah. Oh god, that'd be so cool.
I want to see James Cameron's YouTube channel as like one of those really annoying food reviewers who just does it in his car. But James Cameron car is that little pod at the lowest point in the ocean anyone has ever been. All right, here we are trying Burger King's new McWhopper Jr. Like
down in the lowest point of the submarine.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
God.
just see like outside the window of the submarine, just like the Titanic. And you're just like, it's like, I don't know about the quality of this Whopper Jr.
There's like a literal kraken out there. Like,
Yeah. Oh fuck.
just doesn't bring it
James
up.
Cameron, we have an idea for you.
Yeah, please, James Cameron. I know you're one of our many listeners, and I do really appreciate it. But we have an idea for you that's gonna make you more money than Titanic or Avatar 2, 3, and 4 that you're making would ever make you. We just need a
I kind of
bunch
hope
of
that's
capital
like a
up front.
Half-Life 3 thing by now. Now, Half-Life 2, I think, was much better than Avatar, but
Yeah.
Halfway
that's a
through
weird
is gonna be-
comparison.
But then, like, because I swear, the week after Avatar came out, I heard that like 2 and 3 and 4 were planned. So I
Yeah.
hope it's just one of those things that's always planned but never happens.
I wonder if they're just waiting because like James Cameron like made a bunch of technology to make the movie work. I wonder if they're just like he's still trying to figure out what his next jump is. I don't know.
Like how to make a
4D,
culturally relevant movie.
Yeah, that could be cool. Being a better writer would be one.
Last of the
but,
Mohicans is kind of culturally relevant.
The what?
Wasn't Avatar just Last of the Mohicans? That was the joke I was making. That didn't
sorry. I
land.
didn't,
Oh,
I
my
didn't
bad.
hear what you said.
Yeah.
I
I'm like
just
he
didn't hear
did
what you
Last
said.
of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm like that's.
I mean,
that's
you
a
know,
deep
he's
dive.
done culturally relevant movies before, but just Avatar, just amazing how much of a void it created.
Yeah, I mean, Unobtainium was just is my favorite.
Yeah.
my favorite.
We're not
thing.
being subtle at all.
No, this is Unobtainium.
Just,
We nailed it.
I let my buddy borrow Princess Mononoke recently, and it made me realize how good Miyazaki is at that whole like nature versus like industrial whatever. I can't talk.
Industrialization.
There we go.
Yeah.
That like idea is, but Miyazaki did it in a much more like interesting and complex way than Avatar, because it was like, well, there's arguments to both sides. Is there a way we can find to like make this work that's copacetic for both groups? And Avatar is like, machinery is bad, even though I'm using all these expensive cameras and I'm sponsored by McDonald's.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I think there was a McDonald's on that Avatar planet. You got to see a little bit of it. I saw Death Note the other night.
I watched it too.
Is
Did
that
you?
the Netflix series?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
You
So
can
what?
spoil it. I don't.
That's fine. What are your opinions on this? Okay,
That
hold on. First up,
movie.
did you see the anime or read the manga?
Yeah, I read the anime. I don't really read a lot of manga, but
Okay, so you watched the anime.
I did.
Okay. How did you like it?
the movie was very, very bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't read the manga or seen the anime. I didn't think it was that bad. There's a little bit of stuff in there. There's one character that is like such a dumb anime character where he just does like quirky things and it doesn't translate to a person. And this
Who are
guy
you talking about?
L.
Oh yeah.
He's so like quirky and he does quirky stuff and he like sits on chairs weird and he like runs like an idiot. Also, this is played by the guy in Get Out that they take the picture of and he starts bleeding and starts screaming. That guy.
The guy that was he
Right in
grabs the apple.
beginning.
No, that's the monster. That's Willem Dafoe
No.
that grabs the apple.
I'm talking about the guy in Get Out.
You're talking about Get Out, aren't you?
I'm talking about Get Out. Yeah,
Yeah.
like grabbing the apple is like when you go for a fist bump and then someone tries to shake your hand.
Yes.
and,
I
and you-
understand.
that was that guy.
Because in
Sorry.
Death Note, someone literally grabs an apple. And I
Yeah,
got
the
confused.
demon likes apples apparently.
Oh.
But yeah, it's that guy.
Okay.
And he's like he played it really well, but like that's my problem with anime sometimes when it translates is like they do quirky stuff because in that world it's fine.
And that guy was kind of like fit and stuff. L in the comics was like really, really lanky. You could tell he's probably eating like 800 calories a day. So those weird like just sucking on candy and like punched over quirks kind of work.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they wanted to translate it, take what the actor can do and just give him like different
Exactly.
quirks. Like he was in decent shape. I don't know, make him like always doing yoga or like curls
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Yeah.
I find not having the source material, like I watched it with Jason and he was just complaining the whole time and I'm like, I thought it was not half bad. I thought it was a cool concept and a little bit could have been taken out of it and I don't know. Apparently I'm in the minority here.
I didn't like it at all. It
That's
was
fine.
bad storytelling. I mean, I don't want to compare it to the anime, but I like the anime, but it's not a perfect show.
Yeah.
But the movie just felt like very uninspired. It was like just garbage.
I thought the directing, if anything, the directing is awesome because it's the guy who did You're Next. Do you see that, Stoops? Oh God, I recommend You're Next so hard. It's a great movie. But he has a really good directing style. The writers are not super great. It made it seem like the whole movie was kind of like a dream sequence. The way he shot and the way he did angles and stuff like that.
And I know it's about a notebook that's like, hey, it like magically kills people. So I don't
Yeah.
want to argue about the realism.
Wait,
but
is this the like it involves a lot of like spirals and stuff?
no.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's a different manga.
Okay.
That I
Now this one is just, it literally is a notebook. You can write someone's name in it. And then if that person's name gets written there, they die. And you can choose like, hey, you can die in a way. Like he gets hit by a car.
it's
then
like
a
the
car
other
will hit
end
him.
of Final Destination.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so what if like two people have the same name? Like,
yeah,
wanna
you
kill,
have
like-
to know what their face is, and so it's like that's the loophole is like you have to be picturing their face when you do it, or it's not gonna work.
So one of the characters doesn't show his face because he thinks that if he does, the guy will kill
Does
him.
he write his own name in the book at the end?
No.
Oh.
His girlfriend tries to?
Yeah, they added like this weird rule where like you can take a page out and burn it, but it only works once.
Yeah,
But, like,
it was such a
yeah.
loophole. It was just that was the part I didn't super care for, but I thought it was fun.
I mean, there might have been
Willem
like
Dafoe.
there might have been a deep thing there where it wasn't written in the book, and Riku was just lying about that. Where like
Yeah.
you could just take it out and destroy it, but
Yeah. I just want more Willem Dafoe. Like, but the whole time, like him being a demon, he just sounded like the Green Goblin. So I'm like, where's?
They're very similar though. I think Willem Dafoe was
Yeah.
like the best part of that movie. It's
Yeah.
like this weird monster thing.
You can probably just take all those scenes and you can watch it in 10 minutes and be like, I got it, I nailed it. Anyways, let's talk about problems.
Right, that is why we're here.
Stoops, let's talk about your problem for this lovely weekly episode.
Okay, sure. So my problem is when someone you don't know opens a conversation up using slang.
Okay.
And it might seem specific, but like it's happened to me a number of times in my life that like I can think of at least like
Yeah,
two,
we're gonna need examples.
Two
for sure.
two specific examples. But it happened to me actually last week, and I was at the gas station, and this guy cut in front of the way where the cashier was and stuff like that. Kind of made it a little bit and it's that Get Go with that weird like round.
Oh,
on
but so you had been
17th.
waiting there longer, but he didn't necessarily take space from you to get in front of you.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So anyhow, so this guy like cuts me in line or whatever, and asks for his pack of cigarettes, and then he turns to me and he says, "Oh, sorry, man, did I sponge you?" And I'm like,
Like,
"Did I sponge you?" Actually, I don't even think he said "I'm sorry." I think he just said, "Did I sponge you?"
Did you look this up? Do you know what this means?
So
while you're talking, I'm gonna start looking this up. On Urban
usually
Dictionary.
like with most conversation and stuff like that, I generally try to be pretty agreeable and on the person's same page and stuff like that. And actually I have a tendency
you're yes anding them.
well, yeah, I have a tendency also to like sometimes like agree to things that I don't necessarily actually agree with, like
Being on this podcast.
right, or like some guy asked me in front of Missy, now that we're engaged, is she listening to me? And I was like, yeah, not realizing that he
She
was meaning
listens
it
to
in a misogynistic way.
Oh.
Like, is she like doing what you're telling her
Oh.
to? And I thought he meant like, does she listen to you? Like, I'm like, yeah, she listens to my feelings and we communicate well and stuff. And so I ended up accidentally agreeing with this like misogynist. But this guy just walking up to me and saying, "Did I sponge you?"
Okay, let's try and break this down. Do you know what it means now? Did you look it
Well,
up?
I looked
I'm
up
trying to
the
think-
top definition.
The things
and it's
about-
not what it is.
So he says, "Did I sponge you?" And I just like, I was already a little bit irritated that he cut in front of me in line because the
Yeah.
cashier had already been like, "Oh, you ready to be rung out?" And I said yes, and then the guy
Yeah.
walked up in line. And I was just like, "What?" Like, I'm not even giving it any sort of like.
Yeah, you're not even giving any play. At
I'm
this
like,
point.
"You're okay, man." No, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, did I cut in front of you?" And I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I
it's like the
was
transaction's
more
almost
annoyed
already
that you
over.
just asked me, "Did I sponge you?"
So Urban Dictionary defines this is the top definition for sponging: hitting the waves on your boogie board. That's on Urban Dictionary.
Did he-
No, I can see that.
He did have
Yeah.
a boogie board in his hand.
Oh, that's
Yes.
weird.
And he was like
The
kept on like
gecko was at
bumping
the
it up
beach?
against me. And,
the whole time he's just hitting you with
he's like,
it?
"Oh, am I sponging you, dude?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm
I'm
catching
trying."
some 6 sponges."
And then just like the rest of these are very weirdly sexual. So I don't think he didn't perform sex moves on you, did he? Do you remember?
Maybe that was with that boogie board.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was- it was. That's
All right,
he laid the boogie board down, and like that's the whole problem with this.
Is there any chance that this wasn't slang and he just like word farted and was like
Or like he's like trying
Oh.
to like come up with his own slang. Like
I think he's just trying. It's like when you try to bring back like a word or like a style of something.
Well, I've
Like, I'm
definitely
bringing it
spoken
back.
before and the wrong word just comes out of my
That
mouth.
is true.
And it's just like
That is true. But
play
did
it
he-
off.
but
Act
he
like
did-
it's slang.
But did he seem confident? I feel like did he sell it?
yeah, he was like, "Yo, did I sponge you?"
Okay, so clearly he said it before. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't wince or anything when he said it. Because when I say something wrong, you normally could tell that I fucked something up. So
Right.
Closest I can get is maybe like rub you the wrong way. You rub things with sponges.
Or
like,
grate it on
suck up
you.
your spot in line.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But so I mean, I think that they're like just and I get with like I mean maybe where he comes from or whatever that's a
It's like a
that's
thing.
a thing or whatever
Yeah.
or like with him and his friends and stuff. But the problem I think with like using slang right out the gate is that you are expecting so much of this person that you know nothing about. Like I can use slang with you guys because because we know each other and we come from like the same sort of slang vernacular or
Circle?
we have the same lexicon. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the word lexicon.
Yeah.
Slang lexicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but when you're, and I can easily forgive bad grammar, accents, dialects, and stuff like that. None of that bothers me.
Yeah.
Because the purpose of language is, I had a friend who's a linguist, and he actually taught me this very valuable lesson of the purpose of language is to convey an idea. If you understand what that idea is, then the language has done its job.
Exactly.
So if I say like me and Kyle went to the store, you're not totally confused. Like I don't get what you mean. If you said
Yeah.
Kyle and I would
'Cause
understand.
It's not
who went to
grammatically
the
correct,
store.
so I'm bouncing.
Exactly, but you get what I mean. But if I say Kyle sponged me the other day,
Yeah.
you'd be like, gross.
Were you hurt? Is he a nurse?
Yeah,
What's
is he a
happening?
nurse?
Yeah.
What kind of boogie board did he use? Was it easy?
Right. So, and then there was like another instance too of like a guy wanted to bum a cigarette off of me. I remember this specifically because he just goes, "Yo, man, can I get one of those cancer sticks from you?" And I was like, "I know what you mean,
Yeah,
but
that is
because
true.
you said that, fuck you." Like,
Cancer stick.
It's
Yeah.
like, are you judging me for doing a thing and then
But
asking
also
that I
asking for that same
but
product.
he was
free,
kind of like a stoner kid who you could tell was like trying to be like cool,
cool.
like let me get like.
Yeah.
Square is the cool term for a cigarette. You don't call it a cancer stick.
Yeah.
Like that's,
square is?
Yeah, can I bum a square?
I never heard that before.
Yeah,
I haven't either.
Well, neither of you guys are smokers.
That's
but
true.
yeah, that's
I just watch you smoke, and you put out the cigarette on me once in a while. So,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
For,
'Cause-
and then I
and
just
then
start
you sponge
sponging
me.
you.
Yeah,
It's his fault for not listening to
That's
you.
true. It's, yeah, exactly. I
well, we're
just
not
don't-
engaged, so Kyle
Yeah, that's
doesn't
right.
listen
So I'm
to my
not gonna.
feelings.
I'm not gonna listen to your feelings.
So that is a good like mini problem is like accidentally agreeing to like racism or sexism because you didn't understand their meaning initially.
Oh, you know what? That might be my real problem.
Because if you don't know, you don't know what their implications are. And like that guy saying, "Is she listening to you now?"
Right.
Like you're definitely like ending that situation.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so I guess what I'm saying is, if you're going to be racist or sexist, do it outwardly. Like that guy should have just been like, "Are you in control of everything that she owns now?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
"Do you own her like property?" That's what I'm asking.
I accidentally
Please.
did one of those with a coworker. He showed up and said something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." But he went down this hole about like not what a horrible person his ex-wife was, but just like all women are and all this shit they want. I'm like, no.
No, we didn't agree to this. We did not agree to this kind of thing. But going back to your whole like linguistic thing of the understanding and conveying a message, like I always get really upset when people think that like emojis or like someone who doesn't spell things super well is like a problem. I think if that's how the language is being portrayed and you can understand it, I have no problem with that. And I feel like people get really mad. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority in that regard. I don't feel like we're not advancing culture. Who cares?
I'm pro emoji.
Yeah, I know. We talk in emojis very often. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually. I'm not going to say what the emoji is, but I found the proposal sheet for it because anyone can actually submit an emoji.
Really?
You can submit an idea.
Hold on.
So all right, so there was an I will refer the listeners to the episode of 99% Invisible called I think it's called Person in Lotus Pose.
Okay.
In lotus position. And this guy actually found the entire process for submitting an emoji. All of that is run by Unicode.
Okay.
Who took the idea for emojis, well, they unified them because they were really popular in Japan in like the 90s.
Yeah.
And they were like really basic or whatever, but they so now they have like this unified system of emojis, and then every company, Google, Apple, Facebook, they all do their own version of the emoji. So
Okay.
they redraw it,
Okay.
basically.
Did you know that's
That's
actually the
copyright issue.
Japanese word for emoticon? Like, that's what they're really called in English, are emoticons. I mean, now they've become universal emoji, but that was just like the Japanese word for them.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like just the word for them.
Okay.
What does anime actually mean?
I have no idea. Sorry.
It probably means like animation.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
something.
probably, if we're going to break it
Because
down.
they do a lot of things where they use the English word, but using only their own syllables. So I can't remember what it is, but like two of their numbers, like 7 and 4, sound like thank and you. So sometimes they'll say 7-4 to say thank you, but because it sounds like thank you in English.
Oh,
So like thank you, something like that.
weird.
Anyways,
This is a big language episode. I like this. I like this a lot.
So anyhow, so I found the proposal sheets, and they what they want out of their emojis is that like there's certain rules, like it can't be like a brand, you can't do like the Nike swoosh or
Yeah.
McDonald's arches or whatever. But it has to actually, like in your document, you have to actually make an argument as to why
you
this
need
is
it?
why this is a needed thing. And so what you have to do is like research like the hashtags and things like that, and see how many uses of well,
Like the word.
the guy who proposed person in lotus position.
Yeah.
He didn't actually have any interest in yoga. He was just doing this as like.
I want to
just-
get an emoji on the board. Is that-
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd
well,
be
he
an
was-
amazing resume.
He just wanted to research the
the process.
like the whole process of it. And actually, along the way, he met a girl who was like a 15-year-old girl who actually proposed woman wearing hijab.
Okay.
And it's now it actually officially got in. You can go into Emojipedia, and they actually have that like the list of all the new ones. So with the next iOS update or whatever,
Okay.
emoji update, we'll be getting all these new ones.
Wonderful.
But for his research, he looked into like yoga and meditation, because like person in lotus pose can be used for either yoga, meditation. Looked at the number of like hashtags and stuff like that, and he actually went in and did like an in-person proposal. You don't have to do it in person, but
That's cool.
he was like in California, so
Okay.
he just did it.
He's around.
Yeah. So
So-
I found out what it is, and it's I'll tell you off air because I don't want anyone sponging my idea.
Yeah. I kind of want to make some emojis now. Like
I
feel
kind of like it in that context. Sponges are absorbent. They're absorbing your idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a good use for
I
this
think
word.
actually I
know.
think I used it in a way that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Your meaning was conveyed, and it probably would have been even if you didn't come in with your story. If you just straight up said, "I
Yeah.
don't want anyone sponging my idea," I'd be like,
You're like, oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I just don't use. I don't run into that very often. People don't normally talk to me on the street, so I don't know with all this
yeah, I
slang
get it
terms
occasionally, and it's just, yeah. I mean, especially because I work near like people that are servers, because I'm in the building, and it's just
Yeah.
people expect me to be like,
They use like
hey,
terms
yeah,
and,
and I'm
stuff
just,
like
I don't
that.
know what you're talking about, and I can't get you a drink, and I wouldn't even if I could. Like,
Yeah, I'm like I feel bad, but
Yeah.
you know it's okay.
That's when you just got to use that hip server talk and be like, "Yo, dude, 86 your questions."
boom, and then just air
Yeah, there's a
horn.
board in there. It says like 86th, and one time I came in and someone had just written like my dignity.
Oh, that's wonderful. James, what kind of problem did you bring in this week?
I'm bringing in sinuses just because I've been stuffy.
Okay, tell us about sinuses. What are these sinuses? that you
Sinuses
speak
are
of?
the full name paranasal sinuses. They're just like air-filled spaces in your face. You have 4 of them, and they're named after the bones they're located in.
Okay.
But we don't know what the hell they do, but here's what people think they might do.
Okay.
They might decrease the weight of your skull. They might increase the resonance of your voice. They might
Ooh.
provide buffer against facial trauma.
Okay.
They might humidify and
So they're
heat the
airbags for
air
my
you're
face.
breathing in. Yeah, they could be.
Okay.
Um,
they could. That's the key
uh-huh.
word.
Or they could have some kind of immunological defense. So here's things human sacrifice might do: make the sun go up, make crops grow better. So it's just like, yeah,
That's a proven
We
fact.
don't
I
really
don't
know what
know.
the fuck sinuses do. And I hate them because they're always getting clogged and stuffy. And
Yeah.
I just can't breathe out of my nose, so I'm mad at my sinuses.
Why don't we know this? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know if they just haven't thought of a good experiment. It's not really humane to be like, hey, this baby just got born. Let's fill its sinuses with like something the same density as bone
Yeah.
and see what happens. Like, you're not really allowed to do that.
Yeah, like a really top-heavy baby.
Yeah, it just keep falling over regardless.
And
Do
I
we
s-
have animals? Like, can we do it on animals?
I'm not sure. I spent some time Googling like how much weight does sinuses not being solid bone really save, but I couldn't find a good answer.
Yeah.
But they're like about 40 milliliters worth of space.
Okay.
I don't know how much weight that would add if it was bone.
I can't
like,
tell you offhand. Yeah.
Well, how many milliliters are in a can of beer?
355.
Okay, so just subtract 315 from that, and that's how much.
So 1 milliliter weighs a gram. So it's about 40 grams of weight. I don't know what a skull weighs, but I can't imagine that's that much.
What's a gram weigh?
A gram.
What does anything weigh? This is I hate
Yeah,
this.
I mean, honestly, think about how much does a pound weigh? Like, actually try to
Actually try to explain to someone.
figure out what a pound weighs. Just try to remember what a pound
That's
weighs.
how units go. It's eventually you're gonna get down to this.
Yeah.
Like just the word this. You're like,
Yeah.
what's a second? This.
Yeah.
Like, what's a pound? This.
I don't
Like,
know. It is. It's
And
just,
then
it's
we
just
just
a
go
pound.
like, yeah.
Well, like second and time, I understand. Like that seems like pretty. And distance, I understand.
Actually, no. Because seconds started, the word second is because it's the second division of the hour. You have your minute and your seconds. And it was based on the way the sun moved, but that's not consistent. So now we eventually determined it was like the time it takes for the radioactive decay of one weird element.
Yeah.
Like it's just, but that's not what it started as. We just decided like this.
We just changed it.
We
Yeah,
looked at this thing
is
decay
it.
and we're like,
is it.
this.
Okay.
This is a second.
Yeah.
What element was that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I watched James May from Top Gear explain it once, but it didn't stick with me.
Gotcha.
I actually, God, I forget. I think it was a Stuff You Should Know podcast about why isn't the U.S. on English, or why aren't we metric? And the answer is actually we are. It's just because all of our English measurements are like directly measured
correlated?
by a metric. It
Okay.
didn't used to always be like that, but we now actually use like metric base as our. But they talked about the seconds thing and
We were really just nilly-dillying around with space and measurements.
Well, I mean, you got to pick something, but it reaches the point where you've just decided, like, this is our standard, and we're going to just do units of this.
Well,
of this.
one
Yeah.
isn't it something like 1 liter is like a kilogram of water or something like that? Like
I know 1 milliliter of water is a gram. I'm assuming that they're both
right. I
1,000,
think
right?
that
Yeah.
the metric is
Yeah.
based off of like a lot of it's based off of like how much water weighs,
Okay.
which is a good.
Yeah, water
you know.
is important. That's why 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling in Celsius. And in
Right.
Fahrenheit, it's 32 and 212. So that doesn't really make any sense. But
In the early
There's
19th
some numbers
century,
thrown out there.
in the early 19th century, the French were so obsessed with the metric system they tried to make metric time. So there were 10 seconds in a minute. There were 10 minutes in an hour. There were 10 hours in a day. And you have no idea how bad the pretentious side of me wants a metric wristwatch now.
Can you
but so
buy
a
'em?
second's got to be pretty long in that.
Oh yeah, everything's
system
way
then.
way
Yeah.
longer,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably actually end up using milliseconds to measure. That'd probably almost be closer to
Like
normal
what a
seconds,
second is
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Jeez.
I like the metric system, but the words are so bulky. I love that they explain exactly what they are, but you don't want to tell someone how many kilometers they have to drive. Miles is a big and powerful word, and I
It
like
is.
it.
Mile
Yeah.
sounds better. I mean, you say km, but that doesn't sound as cool as mile. Mile sounds, I don't want to say badass, but it sounds better than.
But if like everyone went to
kilometers.
the metric system, the old mile would be dead, and we could just call kilometers miles. Like,
Right, but also on the bright side of the metric system, how many yards are in a mile?
Oh boy, this is like
It's like 1,760 or something like
Yeah.
This is like
it's close to that.
67. This is exactly 60. Just like 1,000. Never mind. My
that. There's
math-
67 yards in a mile.
No,
I
meant-
get it now that he bent the width of 1,000.
Kyle
before,
is
but I did
Kyle
for a
weighs
second.
4 stone.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys, my math teacher is like rolling in his grave right now because I just didn't pick up any of this. I don't like the silence. The
So
silence hurts me.
sinuses.
It's the
Oh
sinuses,
yeah, I don't really have a good reason to bitch about them other than
And then
I've
they
been
just
stuffy.
happen?
We
How
don't
do
know
we
why
fix
they're
them?
there. I don't know.
And I need to know how we fix these things.
They get infected. They're just like mucousy chambers that like drip into your nose.
Have you tried Mucinex?
Yeah,
That
it
tends
makes
to
me-
Or
rock my world a
Nasonex
bit.
with the B. Is it the same thing?
What?
I don't like this.
Nasonex with a B?
Yeah, it's called Nasonex, and it's got like the mascot's like a bee, and it's
Oh,
Antonio Banderas.
I thought you were just spelling Nasonex really
with the B.
poorly.
You know,
Basonex.
you know how you spell Nasonex with a B?
Like pterodactyl has that silent P, like Nasonex
Yeah.
has that silent B.
BNAS.
I hate this. When you're on, only things happen to me.
I know. I believe it or not, I actually do listen to the podcast when I'm not on.
Yeah.
And I did notice that
Like,
it's only when
everyone's
I'm
nice.
on. Are you just like, God, I want to die?
Yeah.
So it's
There's
not,
like traces of it occasionally, but it's like
there's little blips. There's little blips.
it's
of death.
chronic when you're on.
Yeah, it's just like after this, like I literally have to go take a shower. Like it just hurts my feelings too much. I don't like it. But I
But
must
you
admit,
have one weird fact. You have 4
Yeah.
sinuses. They're named after the bones they're in. Your forehead's called the frontal bone. About 10% of people don't have that sinus.
Why?
So it must not be
are they
essential.
better? Is this like
They might be
Gattaca?
Is there a
better
way
than
to
us.
check?
It's Gattaca. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we have to like drill into it?
Yeah,
or
let's
can
do
we,
that. Let's
like-
do that on air.
Yeah.
Live segment.
I'll go get the drill.
Here,
Who's up
I'll
first?
just tap it into the microphone.
Yeah,
and if
there
it
you
sounds
go.
hollow, I have that sinus.
I mean, we're picking it up, so I'm pretty sure it's hollow. That's fine. That's
Cool.
great. So it's just a genetic thing that you're not born. So we only have 3 of
You're
the
born,
sinuses?
yeah, they would. You're born with 2. The other 2 develop as your skull grows, and then 10% of people that one just doesn't.
I
grow.
need to ask my parents if they gave that to me. They gave me other crappy genetics. So I'm assuming I have a 5th sinus at this rate. So
What
it's
other bad
fine.
genetics did you get from your parents?
I can't see very well. I have acne issues. Okay, so our WikiHow segment for this week is how to pretend to be an assassin. Not even to be an assassin.
How to pretend
How
to
to
be in
just
this.
pretend.
I just
to
love the
be
idea
an
that you're like pretending and you fucking nail it, and you just get put in a situation where you have to be an assassin. You're just
So,
like,
like,
fun.
some of the stuff that they throw in here is like being stealthy. Take deliberate steps. Watch where you're walking. Walk in a crouch to take lighter steps. Like just stuff like this. They're just like
Are they
neat-
talking about Counter-Strike? Is this
Yeah,
real
they're
life?
just like I
What-
can bunny hop around this issue.
Wait, how does crouching give you lighter steps?
I don't know. I don't understand that.
It sort of seems it would just make you clumsier.
But in video games, the thing is, if you crouch, you tend to walk quieter. I think that's where they pulled that.
So it's
from.
not. It's really that I guess that like when your knees are bent, they'll absorb more of the force, so you're quieter. But it's not necessarily that your upper body is leaning down
Yeah.
that makes it quieter.
Some other great tips are study the details of the area around you, concentrate on what you hear, and identify the smells around you. These are just like why. Like, why do I need to just like be aware?
Well,
and don't make noise.
I love this. You got to go to there's this picture of like method 3 of 3 dressing like an assassin, and you just see this guy's like mouth down. He's got this little smug smile, and he's just putting on like a blue button up.
Oh yeah,
shirt.
here I'll show you that real
Yeah.
quick.
And it's just
He's like I'm
yep,
an
He's right-
assassin.
that's an
Even though I
assassin.
can be seen in a crowd.
He's dressed like a British garbage man.
I know. It's-
I'm here to take out
Oh,
the
it
trash.
also tells you to wear comfortable clothes and wear a backpack if your clothing has few pockets.
So I just love the idea of an assassin running around with like a Dora the Explorer backpack on.
Yeah, just like
I
trying
didn't have
to-
enough pockets in my clothes.
Just like walking around like the mall, like all kind of like weird and crouchy, like Jesus. Okay, so the first question in the community Q&A is how do I train to act like an assassin? How do you train?
Wait, was this not covered in
I
the
guess
article?
not. They felt like they had to ask this question after reading the article.
So how do I train to pretend to be an assassin?
Yeah.
I love this. Teach yourself parkour, a useful skill for getting away from enemies.
Especially if you're in Casino Royale. And pretty much only if you're in Casino Royale.
Exactly. Other
And
than
in-
that, it's really
Actually, there's this amazing parkour French movie called District B13 that I probably haven't thought about in a decade, and I want to go watch now. But
Okay.
it's just like,
Do they
yeah.
have the aliens from District 9 in it?
no, I wish.
Oh, that'd have been fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't even remember much about the movie other than it's like 2 parkour guys doing parkour stuff. But it was like well done.
Do they
It's
keep
just-
saying the word parkour?
It's in
Oh,
French.
I
Maybe
just-
they were.
I just
Yeah.
recently rewatched that episode of The Office where they keep on shouting parkour,
Parkour.
and then
Oh my
jumping
god,
over
that is
everyone's
such an
desk.
amazing intro.
Parkour.
How would I be able to develop skills like wall climbing that they do in Assassin's Creed? Do you
Okay.
know what Assassin's Creed is?
I'm familiar that it is a video game.
Yes.
And there's something about an apple in it, right?
I don't know.
Isn't there
I
like
don't
an
play
apple of
them.
truth or something? Maybe that was just in the
that's
movie.
Snow White.
Okay,
Did you
anyhow.
watch the Assassin's Creed movie, Stoops?
No, but I listened to the Flophouse review of it.
Okay, yeah, that's probably
Okay, so when they talk about wall climbing abilities, what do they mean? Like,
You just
like
hold down,
Spider-Man?
you hold down the right trigger, and you just kind of automatically.
and you just literally just like climb a
do
wall, or you like shuffle and like.
It reaches the point where you spend 90% of the game holding down the right trigger. So I think maybe that should have been the don't climb button, and just it should have been
Exactly, it's kind of
normally
like
climbing. Yeah.
you know, you might as well make it like a time crisis pedal and just like hit it just kind of when you don't need it.
does
So-
it matter?
No, in time
Yeah,
crisis,
like
push
what-
it down to pop out.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, you let go to reload. Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Does it matter what texture the wall is in Assassin's Creed?
Oh, there's always perfect little knobs and like balconies.
It's like the perfect rock climbing wall ever.
Oh, okay.
The
so
whole
No
city
matter
is the
what
perfect
building.
rock
So this
climbing
person's
wall.
asking, how do you climb walls like in Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
That was specific. They mentioned Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
they say
specifically.
Assassin's Creed
Okay.
and spelled it correctly.
Well, then I would suggest for them to pretend to assassinate the owner of a rock gym,
there you go.
There you
I
go.
like it. I like it.
and then you'll be able to climb all of the walls.
And then you'll own. I believe if you kill the owner of a rock gym, you own the establishment. I
you
think
become
that's like the unwritten rule.
You become and then he becomes another notch in the wall. Those notches are all the souls of former
All people-
rock gym owners.
God damn it!
But this guy's only pretending, so maybe just use like a Sharpie and mark his neck.
Right.
Yeah, he's only pretending. He just
Yeah.
wants to be quick.
Nerf gun.
Yeah, Nerf gun. What should I do if I'm spotted? Pretending to be an assassin.
You know, I always thought about
Act
this with
cool?
like, because I've always like pictured myself and like, I'm like, oh man, what if I was in this like James Bond scenario or whatever?
Yeah.
But I'm like, so much could go wrong that like I would just be like trying to shit and just like, and then like immediately get discovered and be like, oh no, damn it, come on, redo, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I
there's-
restart?
Yeah,
Time
like-
out.
I can't imagine a James Bond scenario in which I'm not asking for a redo.
Yeah.
I just like want to like bitch. They're like, no, how did? There's no way you saw my foot there. It's like this is reality. I saw it.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating. You're
Bullshit.
cheating.
Bad AI scripting. God.
You're wall hacking. You can see me. That's bullshit.
My favorite part about
you're-
this answer is the word weapon is in quotes. It's like put away your weapon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think if you're spotted, you just have to go for it, right? Like it's
You
no
have
longer
to really
pretend.
double down.
Yeah.
It's no longer pretend. This is real life now. You have to murder them.
Like a smoke bomb, that'd be cool. But yeah, it says you will have to be quick, but you could put away your weapon. You could put your weapon away and walk past them like you aren't paying attention to them. So
Or-
if like someone's yelling at you, you just walk by and just. You're just a shithead kid.
This works if you're in a public space. If you're in their home,
Yeah,
you can't really
pretending to
walk
be
by
an
For
them.
some
assassin.
reason, I was picturing like a public school scenario where the teacher's yelling at you for like climbing, and you just act like you don't know.
Yeah, you just
Walking
like
down
turn
the hall.
around.
You just start shaking. No, I'm not. This
Here-
isn't.
The rest of it is, or if you are quote unquote poisoning their food, you can quickly back away casually like nothing happened. So you're just
Backing
pretending
away
to
is
poison-
inherently the least casual activity
Nobody
you can
moves
do.
like this.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, it's like a cartoon. Jesus. How can I be quiet in fall with leaves and loud crunching?
Isn't that a like contradictory statement or question
How can I be quiet and fall
on loud leaves?
on loud leaves?
don't know.
Don't try to assassinate them where there's.
I would just say stay indoors. Make it indoor pretend assassins.
Yeah, I mean, try to go for like like. See, when winter comes, that's when everyone does their indoor assassinations.
Oh.
And then when everyone's out during the spring and summer, that's when everyone's
That's
just
like-
getting headshot in the park.
There you
know?
go. 360 no scopes in the park.
I misunderstood the question and for some reason pictured them being stealthy and like falling into a pile of leaves to hide. That was
Oh,
my
how do you
bad.
stealthily fall into a
Yeah.
pile of leaves
But that's
that
not
someone's
what
just
it
raked
said.
up?
Yeah.
It's a different question.
Yeah.
And that is, you go like, hey, Dad, what's that over there? And, then
you
go,
just
shh.
jump. Yeah. And he goes, "What are
I'm
you
a
doing?"
leaf too.
Yeah.
Oh, the rake was in here.
Oh no, Dad! Please help. How do I become a real assassin?
no, I still want to imagine stealthily distracting your dad from chores.
But ultimately still falling and still having to do the chores. I want to write a new WikiHow segment of how to avoid chores. I will look that up after this.
So what's this last question?
How do I become a real assassin?
I do like how it just says if you join the army, you might be able to do this. Otherwise, it's illegal.
Otherwise, it is illegal. Yeah.
Basically, just go with military or, police, any of that. Like Will Smith, he got to like assassinate some aliens because he was really good at.
That is true. Just being in the army or the
He was
Air Force.
he was part of NYPD.
Oh yeah.
Because he didn't get the job done the way the rest of those squares and suits did. But
I
damn if he didn't make it
I
look
was
good.
Independence Day.
Day.
You were Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it.
we lost it.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Oh, he fights aliens a lot, doesn't he?
He does. He does fight aliens a good amount. Did you see the new Independence Day? It's on Netflix. It's awful. It is so bad.
Is it ID42 or do they go ID5? What's the...
I think ID5.
So it's July 5th this is all happening on, or what's
No.
happening?
Independence Day, the 5th.
Yeah.
I think it goes a little past July 4th. I don't remember now. I saw it in theaters, so that was my own mistake.
So I remember that July 4th was the day the Declaration was written and they started signing it, but they didn't get the last signature on it to sometime in August. Maybe they should just set it on that day.
That's a good idea. I like it. I like it.
Or the day that the Constitution was written. Arbor Day.
We'll do.
Earth Day would make a lot of sense.
Earth Day. There
Yeah.
we go.
Or
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
I like it. What if they do a bunch of Independence Days and it's all just on different holidays?
Oh, so it becomes like Gary Marshall presents Independence Day, where it's just like a bunch of star-crossed lovers.
Yeah.
Independence Day : Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And there's like
Star-crossed lovers and
Labor
star-crossing
Day.
aliens.
one of them's Will Smith punching aliens, another one's a guy that's like in love with his best friend's wife. But the
Andy
wife thinks she
Samberg and
hates
Emma
him.
Stone.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Rainas,
But then
crying
also
and
Bruce
kissing,
Willis.
hanging out. Oh God. All right, one more of these. There's a couple more, but I think one more is ideal. Where are ideal places to pretend to be an assassin?
Hold up. There's that feels like the most non-committal sentence ever. What are ideal places to pretend to be an assassin? I was wondering about if maybe being pretend assassin might be a fun thing I might do next week, maybe.
Yeah. So what are your recommendations? Clearly not like the Pizza Hut, but maybe your own house in a basement. I'm assuming this is like a basement activity.
Start small, bathroom. All right, that's you gotta
look intimidating in the mirror.
Exactly. Well, you start with
punches.
just like a private bathroom at a bar. That one of the ones where you lock the door
Already
behind
in
you.
public. I
But
like
then
it.
you got to start with public because if you're not gonna trial by fire.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand.
So then you go to a bathroom with two toilets in there.
Okay.
And then you try to pretend to maybe assassinate that person that's in there with you. And then you go to 3 toilets. And then you go to 4 toilets. And then once you're up to the big truck stop 20 toilet thing.
Yeah. That's when you know you've made it big. That's
Then-
when you know you're a pretend assassin.
Then you got to go with 1 Bob Evans booth. Then 2 Bob Evans booths.
Why Bob Evans? You're gonna scare all the old people.
Because they're old, and so they're not going to see it coming as much. It's starting. It's like starting
their
off on
perception's a lot lower.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it.
and
Now
then
I
so
get
it gets more and more difficult. See,
Okay.
you're catching people when they're at their most vulnerable. First off, it's when they're using the bathroom.
That's true.
Second off is when they're old.
Yeah,
I think sleeping's probably number one.
Yeah, but sometimes you get that alert, and sometimes I'll jump up and then if I hear something, I just that's that
Yeah, you gotta
instinctive
you gotta wait
reaction.
till you start doing the breaking and entering phase
aspect
of
that.
this.
So what would be the tip top? This is where I am. This is the ideal situation for a pretend assassin.
Actually,
Where it's
in
the
a
hard- it's the hard
foreign
mode.
dictator's room.
Okay.
Break
I like
into
it.
some African king's house and just be sitting there as I could have assassinated you, but I'm only pretending.
Yeah, but I'm only pretending. I gotta go now. My mom's gonna pick me up.
I think all of these kids pretending to assassinate, they just start going with high-ranking government officials.
Yeah.
Whoops. I mean, don't assassinate people.
I'll send this around to some people. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. That's fine. Wow, I feel like I could be a pretend assassin. I'm gonna try some stuff at a Bob Evans. I think there's one down. Isn't there one in Lakewood?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to go there sometime?
Down on the farm? Hell yeah, man.
Get some biscuits and gravy.
We just walk it, bust open the door and just go, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Bob Evans, it's breakfast time. Yeah.
Can you please? Can we make a new song where it's just all Bob Evans, Casino Royale themed? I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that silence
wait,
is no.
Hold on. Hey, Bob Evans, that's themed like Casino Royale, or are you talking about the theme song, the James Bond theme to a
Now
Bob
I want
Evans?
both.
A Casino Royale based Bob
Evans?
Evans, where there's like high stakes poker with Le Chiffre, but also like
I can get
all you can eat pancakes.
Yeah. I would go to that casino if that was a real thing.
Home style egg skillets.
Coming out hot while you're
Baccarat.
playing some baccarat. Don't put it on the felt, it's gonna burn it. Don't put it on there. What are you doing? Oh God. Anyways.
Coffee's not hot enough, unlike my hand.
Whoa! And then just assassins. So many assassins. They have to have like a cool bar with like the shaken not stirred stuff and like this. It's a whole thing. We can work out. Let's talk to Bob Evans this week.
Okay.
Let's reach out. Let's reach out. My problem this week is legs.
All right, thanks, guys.
So you like ZZ Top?
No. Just like
Wow.
on my body.
Your legs, not other people's.
Yeah, I'd say my legs. That's fine.
How do you feel about other people's legs?
They're fine. They
Okay.
do things.
So what is the nature of this problem? Like, why are you bringing it in?
I did some freelance work these past couple days. I worked at the Cleveland Convention Center doing this thing called Content Marketing World, and I saw our friend Jess there, by the way.
Oh, cool.
And I had to walk around all day and be on my feet all day, and I don't like when I have to do that all the time. I think I got like 18,000 steps one day and 15,000 steps the next day. And then one of those days we did our show with Froggy Fresh. So if you haven't seen one of my shows before, I tend to run around and walk around and do stuff.
Basically,
So
spend as little time on stage as possible.
that is
your
true to
general
make it
MO.
so awkward. I love it.
I'm just happy I don't have to do the Spice Girls thing and make it look like I'm willingly DJing
I know.
Spice Girls anymore.
I know.
Missy sang that at karaoke last night, by the way. I thought.
Oh,
of you.
really?
Yeah.
That's adorable. Where'd you guys sing karaoke at?
It was Tina's. I didn't sing, but
Okay.
yeah. Cause,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I don't
Anyhow.
like my legs because they hurt. And
This sounds
are
like...
are you guys aware of your legs?
Yeah.
So your problem could be muscle fatigue. Your problem could be like not doing enough physical activity to
It's
be in
all
enough good shape to
encompassed.
continue to do physical activity. Because I think
don't
legs
like
are
this.
pretty cool. You can cover a lot of terrain with legs. We're trying to build robots with legs because they're better than wheels at a lot of things.
That's
I like
fine.
legs.
I like this hurts. I feel like I'm being attacked again. I don't know why. You're a bad influence on my co-host. You're an awful influence. I'm trying to be a nice guy and talk about legs.
I
and
just want
talk
to say I
about
haven't
all
said
that
anything
stuff.
except what do you have against ZZ Top? But that's
Nothing.
I haven't
ZZ
said
Top's
anything.
great. They have that one song with
Legs?
the band. Yeah, legs. They have other songs too. I don't
Like
know.
what?
Oh,
Name
man.
another ZZ Top song.
I like hearing English speakers from Europe talk about them because they said ZZ Top, and I love that.
ZZ Top. A ZZ Top song would be like The Car Goes or something. I'm not good at this. I just want to be part of their alternative band, AA Top. So,
AA Bottom.
oh shit! God damn it! I had it. I hate this game. I hate this podcast. I hate everything about my life. Nothing about this is okay. I thought I had it and then I lost it. And I'm not okay with any of this. My whole life is nothing but a facade and a lie.
Oh man.
You've really reached rock AA bottom.
Okay.
God damn it. All right, fine. We're going on a happy ending because I'm not dealing with these. I'm not dealing with my problems or the way I can't say words right or jokes. So we're doing a happy ending.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle.
Don't. I know you're not really sorry.
I missed being on here.
I know. We miss you too.
Miss having you.
Yeah.
Do I still have third petal status?
Of course you do.
When I jokingly named myself that?
Of course you do. Ooh, look at that.
I just threw the...
For the podcast, he just straight crushed it.
Sorry, I was going to say a sentence, but then I had to decipher
James's handwriting.
Now he's talking about something that I have no
And
idea what the
sometimes
hell
he
this
writes
is.
his words in positions that you wouldn't read them. Like, there's one behind you where it just is not written right.
I know, but
That
also
is rough.
I may have made him write these when he was drunk, and I regret such things. So
Can I? Okay, the one that I pulled says the word Snapchat twice in it. Can
Can I take a look?
yeah, we'll read it, but you can get another one.
Yeah, it says getting Snapchats from Team Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat, and I don't
Okay.
know what. That's the most I've ever said the word Snapchat before.
I know
so.
it hurts me. Yeah, I mean, it lets you know when holidays are happening. They tend to do things. They tend
So
to
is
send
Team
you a
Snapchat like just like like when Facebook sends you notifications saying like no one's heard from your page that you started in a while?
It's not
Exactly.
quite that. It's actually more like, hey, today's Independence Day. Team Snapchat is sending you, like, here's cupcakes with American flags on them. And
Yeah.
How is that bad? How is that even lightly annoying? We all agreed that by not paying for any of these websites, that they
That's
would be
true.
allowed to
Advertise to us.
sell our information to advertisers and be
Yes.
directly advertised to us,
exactly,
and then charge us to advertise when we want to promote something.
exactly, and then not get the outreach that we're looking for.
Exactly. So
Let's try another one.
Have you guys tried advertising on Facebook?
I've
Yeah.
done it. I've done it. I've actually, but you got to be really specific. You can't just like say like I'm just gonna send this out, and then you get like a bunch of people in like other countries who will never listen to your music liking your page and stuff.
It's weird. You have to be.
So actually, I generally do it like if I'm playing a show, like at the Beachland or whatever. I will set you can actually set your area that'll go in. So I have like just like a 25-mile radius around Cleveland and like 25-mile radius around Akron.
Do you feel like that hits results? Like,
Yeah, that actually does like reach people who do actually like listen to the music, like the page, things like that. I generally get like pretty good response by doing it, but you got to be specific about it, you know, because sometimes like I'll be like, oh, I'm playing a show at the Beachland, you know, in Cleveland, and then I get someone from like Mexico City that likes that status. I'm like, you're not gonna come to the show.
Yeah, it's real weird, and I feel like they're still like. I feel like they lie a little bit about their algorithms and stuff.
Oh, how many people actually see it or whatever?
as
like,
opposed to like look at it or interact with it. Like I feel like their analytics are all off.
yeah, I've had and it's also they count it as seeing if you're just scrolling by really fast.
Yeah, they count it as
it
a
pops
view, which
But-
is insane.
Yeah, which is crazy. Think about how fast you scroll through Facebook, and especially
Yeah.
if you see something that's sponsored content.
Yeah, it still counts as a view though
Yeah.
in their algorithm and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's dumb.
I'm going to start never mind.
Nope, do it.
All right.
Do it.
I said I'm going to start a drum circle of vice presidents and call it algorithm.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, that means it was a bad joke. Kyle
Yep,
likes it.
exactly.
All
I
right.
like it. I thought it was fun. The looks at your faces. All right, just say it.
Yeah, James can't be allowed to do these next time. Are you gonna do the happy endings where you make James come on here and actually answer all
Yes.
give happy endings to all the ones that he doesn't?
Yep.
Because
Oh,
I would
you
like
bet we are.
Because I would like him to. Let's put this one back in the bag so he has to also figure out a happy ending
I
for
will
it.
keep it.
Antibacterial resistant gonorrhea.
I think I brought in antibiotics kind of as a problem on one where you were on antibiotic resistant. It was one where I brought in dollar hamburgers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Okay, but getting
But there's no good thing about it.
there's
Yeah.
no good thing about. I guess I don't know. Come on, do one more.
yeah.
No, I like this. It's hard mode. Let's think.
This is hard. Okay, let's.
something.
Okay, fine.
All right, let's just edit out this moment of silence that we're gonna have
All right,
now.
everyone, just think about it for a couple seconds.
So in science funding, there's a real shortage of prokaryotic research funding right now.
Okay.
So maybe that could be an inspiration to get some more money flowing back into researching that kind of stuff.
Okay, by knowing it's the problem,
Yeah.
you're saying that we'll put money into fixing the problem. So someone's got to have the problem first, though.
Okay, wait, idea. I just got it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So by being antibacterial resistant, the gonorrhea stays in your body for longer.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, over time, it's going to develop Stockholm syndrome and become a part of you. And then the gonorrhea is going to be on our side then, and it's going to fight
our
off
side.
other diseases that are trying to kill you.
I'm immune to all diseases except my gonorrhea. I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know why. Why did it have that accent? I don't understand.
Was that supposed to be your Stockholm accent?
I don't know.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. That's
No, I like it.
fine.
I'm
I like
down.
it.
I'm down. A little
I'm cool
accent
with
work.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my plan for
That works.
have gonorrhea for so long it develops sympathy
It
for you.
It turns into a traitor.
Yeah.
And it becomes on our side.
It actually
convinced
destroys other gonorrhea.
I like it.
Do,
Stoops,
do you have gonorrhea or does the gonorrhea have you?
Ooh,
That's
at the-
really what you got to look at.
at the end of the day, we just, we really got to all sit down and really think about whose side we're on when it comes to gonorrhea
Right.
and what we can do to alleviate that problem.
All right.
Stoops,
Yo,
what are you up to? What's
not
new?
much. You?
Nothing. Just doing a podcast. What do you got plug wise? What's all in your hood?
All right.
What are you sponging with lately?
Well, you can catch me with my boogie board September 20th at the Grog Shop in Cleveland Heights,
Okay.
where I will be opening for L1011. It's part of the Grog Shop's 25th anniversary week.
Hell yeah.
There's a bunch of other really, really great shows. Let me just plug the Grog Shop in general. Like that week so I play on Wednesday. Also going on is like Ted Leo and the Pharmacists. Actually, a week after the following Wednesday, Harmar Superstar is going to be there. Neither of you guys.
I know
excited
Harmar
about it.
Superstar. He does the stuff for
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
He's a great soul singer, and he looks like Ron Jeremy.
Yeah,
and
he does.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He did the intro for Mysteries, or what does he do?
Yeah, he
The
did
new
like the new.
intro.
He does like all like the theme songs, music, stuff like that. For
So
the
I have
new-
heard his stuff. Then.
Yeah, yeah, he's the guy who sings it now. That theme song. But I mean, he's been around for a bit. He's like super funny, weirdly charismatic. Great voice and just like awesome soul tunes. Anyhow, so yeah, September 20th is when I'm playing. Then September 29th, I will be DJing Night Market as my June
Awesome.
1 got rained out.
Yes.
So I'm going to be being closing DJ for that. Then September 30th, the day after, at 2 p.m., I will be at Lakewood Park doing a thing for Jordan's Family, which is a family foundation thing.
Awesome.
And I'll be trying to remember to not play my songs with swears in it, as there
That's
will
a
be
good
kids
idea.
there.
That's a good idea.
And got an EP with my band that I'm in now called Plumes. That's going to probably be coming out. We're shooting for sometime around December, but don't hold me to that.
Okay.
And then next p.stoops EP is going to probably come out around March, maybe April.
Cool.
And then that's what I got.
Cool.
I don't think I have. Then I got some beats on the new Mayor Wertz album.
That's right. That is
maybe
correct.
unless Kyle throws them away. I don't
No,
know.
I'm not throwing them away. I really like them, so
Okay.
we're good. We're slowly getting through the album. James, what are you liking this week? What are you into?
I watched this show called Made in Abyss. It's
Okay.
another anime, but I'm digging it.
Okay, cool.
Is it Netflix or is that like the
Crunchyroll thing.
That's not on Crunchyroll. I found a website that just streams everything called 9anime.com. I don't know if it might be illegal, but
It might be. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
streams everything for free? I don't see how it could be.
Yeah, exactly.
there's ads on it, so
Right, see?
my pocket blocker blocks them, so I don't see any. But
But you know they're there. You
Yeah.
know they're there. I am going to be doing improv on the 23rd with Something Dot at the Lakewood Beck Center at 8 o'clock. We also have shows pretty much every month. October is their anniversary show, so I think we're only doing 2 shows then, the 14th and the 23rd. Working on an album still in the recording process and whatnot, with p.stoops, of course. And I think that's it. I don't got anything else going on right now. So once again, this has been Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
and I'm James.
And I'm p.stoops. And to play us out, Kyle's going to give us a freestyle rap. Go ahead. You said you really wanted to do this.
Hey, my name is Kyle, and I am a rapper. You know, I'm really bad at the game called Tapper.
New album by Mayor Wertz. Coming soon.
Coming soon. Try harder. Have a good day.